Glass falls. The cat flinches. You laugh it off. They don't. They never do. Cats remember everything. Not like humans. They don't journal. They don't gossip. But they store emotional snapshots. Every smell, sound, and movement gets logged. You might think they're zoning out when they stare at you, but they're actually reviewing a highlight reel of your greatest betrayals. So today, we're breaking down the 10 things your cat will never forgive, and why their memory is far more powerful than you think. 1. Raising your voice. To a cat, your yell isn't just annoyed human noise. It's an explosion. Their ears are fine-tuned to detect the smallest rustle of prey in the grass. So when you shout, it's like setting off a bomb in their head. Maybe you were mad at the TV, or you dropped your phone, or you told them to get off the counter. Doesn't matter. That sound imprints in their brain as danger. The next time you approach, they'll pause, eyes wide, tail twitching. And here's the scary part. They remember tone. You can apologize all you want, but their brain keeps that sound on file. It becomes part of their survival code. When that voice rises, run. So yeah, your cat might look calm when you raise your voice, but deep down, they're clocking every decibel like a tiny emotional archivist. 2. Touching without permission. Cats are not touchy-feely roommates. They're landlords. You live in their space. When you reach out mid-nap or grab them without warning, that's a trespassing violation. Their body is sacred territory, and you just barged in without knocking. You might think, what's the big deal? I just wanted to pet them. They think, that's the hand that woke me up last Tuesday. It sounds dramatic. But cats don't forget invasions of comfort. Their nervous system remembers where and when they felt startled. And because they associate touch with safety, one bad grab can undo months of trust. Next time they approach, they'll sniff your hand first, check your angle, measure your mood. Cats forgive slowly and sometimes not at all, especially if you broke the golden rule. Don't touch a sleeping cat. 3. Playing too rough. You wiggle your fingers. They pounce. It's adorable, until claws sink in and suddenly you're bleeding. So you pull away, yell no, and your cat looks confused. That's because you started a game their instincts took seriously. When you make your hands the toy, you blur the line between play and attack. Then, when you punish them for responding, they feel betrayed. Now they don't know when you're safe. Your hands went from playtime to punishment in one day. That unpredictability sticks. Cats crave consistency. It tells them who's friend and who's threat. So when you move too fast later, even just to pet them, that hesitation you see in their eyes, that's memory. They're asking, is this the game where I get hurt again? 4. Harsh discipline. Spraying water, swatting, yelling, the classic training tricks. All of them destroy trust. Cats don't connect cause and effect the way you think. You're not teaching them not to scratch the couch. You're teaching them you are unsafe. They remember the moment, the fear, and most importantly, the source. And unlike dogs, cats don't see you as pack leader. They see you as a roommate with unpredictable mood swings. Once that line is crossed, good luck repairing it. You can buy treats, new toys, even a fancy scratching post, but deep down, they'll always remember the version of you that scared them. And fear, once planted in a cat's mind, takes a very long time to die. 5. Ignoring their needs. You missed feeding time. You left the litter box dirty. You didn't notice the limp or the bald patch, or that silent meow that meant help. To you, it's life being busy. To them, it's betrayal. Cats don't nag. They wait. They watch. And when their routine breaks, they don't complain. They just stop trusting the world around them. If food doesn't come when it should, or their box smells like a crime scene, they don't think, oh, he's late. They think, my environment isn't safe anymore. Neglecting a cat isn't about cruelty, it's about chaos. They thrive on predictability. Every skipped meal, every ignored signal becomes a note in their emotional ledger. And they do keep score. 6. Rearranging their territory. You move the couch, shift the litter box, or redecorate for aesthetics. Your cat sees it as a home invasion. Their world is built on scent and spatial memory. Every object, every path, every sleeping spot tells them, you're safe here. When you change that, you erase their mental map. They'll walk around sniffing every inch, tail low, eyes wide, not curious, anxious. They have to rebuild their sense of home from scratch. Do it often, and they'll start withdrawing. Sleeping in corners, avoiding eye contact, maybe even marking territory just to say, this is still mine. So next time you rearrange the living room, remember, to your cat, you didn't move a chair. You moved the entire universe. 7. Waking them up. It's 3 p.m. Your cat is melted into a sunbeam, purring softly, whiskers twitching in some perfect little dream, and you poke them awake. Why? Because they looked cute, because you wanted that slow stretch for a TikTok or a photo, because you couldn't resist. Congratulations. You just committed emotional theft. Cats aren't lazy. Those hours of sleep aren't a quirk, they're survival. Sleep is when their bodies repair muscle, regulate hormones, and process everything that happened that day. Waking them mid-nap isn't adorable. It's like yanking someone out of deep REM sleep and demanding they smile for a selfie. They come out groggy, disoriented, and annoyed. They remember exactly where it happened and who did it. And they'll act on that memory. They'll shift sleeping spots, hide under furniture, or retreat to a high shelf just to keep their peace. You'll start to notice they no longer curl up near you in the afternoon, and it will all trace back to that one cute moment you couldn't resist. In their world, you turned a sanctuary into a trap, and their brain won't forget it anytime soon. 8. Startling or scaring them. Cucumber pranks, balloons, Halloween masks, you name it. Humans have somehow turned feline terror into entertainment. But for your cat, those funny moments are full-blown panic attacks. A sudden shape behind them, a loud pop, or a strange object placed where they feel safe triggers their primal survival system in an instant. Their heart pounds, claws shoot out, muscles lock, and their body floods with adrenaline. In that split second, they're not your pet. They're prey fighting for their life. And when they realize it was you behind the scare, that's when the real damage begins. Because cats don't fear strangers as much as they fear unpredictability from the ones they trust. You're supposed to be their protector, their constant, their safe place. When you become the source of fear, the world tilts for them. Even days later, they'll still be on edge, flinching at shadows, twitching at tiny sounds, watching corners like something's waiting there. You might have laughed for 10 seconds, but they relive that terror quietly, over and over. That's the thing about cats. They don't forget fear, especially when it comes from love. The same brain that remembers warmth and affection also remembers betrayal with perfect clarity. So next time you're tempted to test their reaction for a laugh, remember, it's not a joke to them. It's trauma disguised as play. And they'll remember the scare long after you've forgotten the laugh. 9. Hurting their paws. Let's talk about paws, the most sacred, sensitive part of a cat's entire body. They're not just cute little jelly beans for you to poke and coo over. Each paw is a masterpiece of precision, packed with thousands of nerve endings, vibration sensors, and tiny scent glands that help them navigate the world. Cats feel the world through their feet, the way the ground shifts, the temperature of a surface, even the heartbeat of a mouse under the floorboards. Those paws are how they hunt, climb, stretch, and claim territory. So when you grab them, squeeze them, or trim their nails carelessly, it's not grooming, it's a violation. And declawing? That's beyond betrayal. Because declawing isn't just taking off the nails, it's an amputation. The removal of the entire last bone of each toe. Imagine losing every fingertip down to the knuckle. Every step afterward burns. Every stretch reminds them of what's missing. A cat that's been declawed walks differently, moves differently, feels differently. Some develop chronic pain. Others slip into quiet depression. Even if they look normal on the outside, their body remembers what was taken. Their gait stiffens, their confidence fades, and something in their spirit dulls. Because you've altered the very tools nature gave them to feel safe. So when your cat pulls their paw away, flinches, or hides their feet, don't take it as rejection. That reaction isn't attitude, it's instinct. It's memory etched into their nerves over thousands of years of evolution. Their paws are their pride, their weapon, their balance, their sense of identity. You're not just touching their foot, you're touching a part of them that was designed to never forget pain. Handle it with reverence, and they might just learn to trust that touch again. 10. Forcing affection. You pick them up, you hug them tight, you say, "Aw, come on, just love me." They're stiff, they squirm, you don't let go. Congratulations. You've just turned love into confinement. To a cat, being restrained isn't affection, it's captivity. They're creatures built on freedom, control, and choice. Every muscle, every reflex in their body evolved to react fast, escape faster, and stay alive. So when you scoop them up without warning, their brain doesn't process hug. It processes, "I've been caught." Their heartbeat spikes, their whiskers stiffen, and their pupils widen, not from joy, but from panic. Even if your arms are gentle, instinct screams, "Trap." They'll remember everything. The smell of your shirt, the sound of your breath, the squeeze of your hands. That helpless moment becomes a permanent marker in their emotional memory. So the next time you reach for them, they'll brace, expecting that same loss of control. You'll think they're moody, but they're just protecting themselves from a memory you created. The truth is, cats don't hate affection. They just want to be the ones to offer it. When you let them come to you on their terms, everything changes. They'll nudge your hand, curl into your lap, maybe even purr against your chest. Because this time, it's their choice. That's real love for a cat. Not forced closeness, but earned closeness. Give them that freedom, and you'll get something far better than a hug. You'll get trust that lasts forever. Cats don't hold grudges, they hold memories. Their brains are wired for survival, not spite. In the wild, forgetting danger meant death, so they learned to link pain with memory. Even today, that instinct remains. They don't remember dates, they remember feelings. Who made them feel safe? Who made them flinch? A harsh sound, a grab, a scare, all get stored as emotional data. But the same wiring that remembers fear can also remember kindness. Every calm word, gentle touch, and predictable routine adds a new layer of trust. You can't erase a bad memory, but you can rewrite it with consistency and care. So if you've ever broken their trust, Don't chase it. Rebuild it. Speak softly. Keep routines steady. Let them come to you. When they finally blink slowly or curl beside you again, that's not coincidence. That's forgiveness earned. If this made you see your cat a little differently, go show it. Give them space, offer a treat, and remember, they may not forget. What if your cat knows something you don't? What if behind those slow blinks and soft purrs lies a silent radar for truth? Someone who can sniff out not just your mood, but the people around you, the atmosphere in a room, and even subtle shifts in your energy. This is more than pet behavior, it's the hidden intelligence of our feline companions. Let's start with one of the most compelling indicators, your cat's reaction to people. We all know the pattern. Guests arrive, you're friendly, you want to host, but your cat heads for the bed or hides under the couch, or alternately, they jump onto your visitor's lap and won't leave them alone. What's going on? Science tells us that cats are extraordinary at reading people and environments through scent, posture, voice tone, and yes, mood shifts. They may not label someone as good or bad in the human moral sense, but they do pick up on subtle signals. One recent study found that domestic cats can distinguish their owner's scent from that of a stranger, showing heightened interest in unfamiliar smells. And cats have strong memories, long-term associative memories tied to emotion and environment, which means they remember people, places, and events in ways we often underestimate. Here's the twist. The reason your cat might react strongly or negatively to someone isn't because they're suddenly moral critics. It's because something in that interaction triggered a signal your cat registers. Maybe the person's tone was tense, maybe their movements were unfamiliar, maybe the smell of that person reminded the cat of something unsafe. Cats read micro behaviors, vibrations of your energy, imperceptible changes in breathing or posture. Their barometer isn't always visible, but it's real. And when they appear to reject someone, they may actually be reacting to a signal you missed, but it's not just about people. Your cat has hidden sensory powers that deserve a closer look. For example, cats have exceptional auditory and olfactory perception compared with humans. They can hear higher frequency sounds, detect subtle changes in air currents, and interpret scent cues we wouldn't even notice. These senses give them an edge, or one that humans don't always appreciate. They may detect a visitor's nervous tension, a shift in someone's testosterone or adrenaline levels, or even the residual scent of a place that triggered discomfort before. Their radar is on subtle alert even when we're not aware. Moreover, cats develop associative memory. That same memory, which helps them remember the route to the feeding bowl, also links people, places, and experiences. If a cat had a negative interaction in a certain setting, say a loud party, kids rushing, vacuuming, or even a person with erratic movements, they don't just forget. They encode that memory. Person X plus event Y equals tension. Then when person X shows up again, even if the event isn't repeated, the cat may show signs of stress or avoidance. That doesn't mean the person is evil, it means the cat's internal map flagged something as uncomfortable. This is why many cat owners say, "My cat didn't like him, and now I'm glad I listened." Whether true or anecdotal, there's a pattern. It's less about cats judging human morality and more about them sensing disruption in the ease of their environment. A visitor with calm movements, soft voice, minimal tension often gets the nod. A stranger who lingers too long, raises their voice, touches too fast, cats perceive the anomaly. They might hiss, retreat, or simply vanish. And to you, that might look like, "My cat hates them." But what your cat is really saying is, "Something here feels off right now." Let's flip it to the positive side. When your cat relaxes into someone's lap, purrs, kneads, or slow blinks, they're endorsing that person's presence in their space. They've done a quick check, scent, posture, voice, energy, movement, and they're comfortable. That doesn't mean the person is perfect. It means the vibe aligns. So yes, your cat knows, not in magical terms, but in biological and behavioral terms. It gets deeper. Your cat also registers changes in your own state. Did you come home upset? Did you argue with someone? Did your tone shift or did your scent change? Stress hormones, adrenaline? Your cat may respond to you differently, following you more closely, kneading on your lap, or lying near you. Why? Because they sense the difference and may seek reassurance. Or they may distance themselves if the energy feels heavy. Cats are finely tuned to the emotional climate you bring home. Now, the hidden abilities part. Beyond sensing people and mood, cats tap into what we might call environmental awareness. They notice new objects, unnatural smells, unfamiliar movements. That's why many cats will inspect new furniture, retreat from a recently scented room, or sit and stare at a corner. They're reading the environment for safe patterns. When a stranger arrives with strong perfume or someone moves furniture while the cat isn't looking, your cat will often respond first and adapt later. That's not ghost sensing, it's pattern recognition. But here's something even more profound. Training your awareness based on your cat's behavior can improve your social radar. If you notice your cat bristles when someone visits, pause and observe. What changed in their tone? Was there sudden loud movement? Did someone step in without acknowledging the cat? Sometimes the cat's reaction shines light on micro behaviors you missed. Paying attention actually strengthens your own sensitivity to relational cues. You start noticing when you feel relaxed or tense, but animals often feel it first. Of course, caution. This doesn't mean your cat is infallible. There are strong anecdotes, but science tells us cats react to sensory input, not moral judgments. For example, some cats will dislike people who wear hats, gloves, or heavy cologne, not because of character, but because those items register as unfamiliar. Others may favor a person simply because the scent reminds them of comfort. A single data point. Reddit users observed that their cats knew when a partner was abusive, but research says what cats really sense is stress cues and changes in the environment. So how do you tap into this feline wisdom rather than ignore it? Here are 3 powerful practices. First, observe calmly. When your cat encounters a new person, don't rush. Watch how the cat reacts, ears, tail, posture, where they sit. Are they curious, still, tense? That cues you in. Second, check yourself. If your cat is reacting negatively, ask, did I arrive stressed? Did I bring someone who triggered tension? Sometimes the cat is reacting to you. Third, create safe space for your cat, because a stressed cat is less able to function as that intuitive barometer. Make sure their retreat spots, regular routines, and environment are stable. The calmer they are, the clearer their feedback becomes. At the end of the day, your cat isn't a lie detector, but they're a truth amplifier. They amplify what's real in the room. Your mood, the energy of visitors, the subtle dynamics your conscious mind overlooks. Listening to them isn't mystical, it's just being attuned to signals nature gave them. And nature, in my experience, rarely gets it wrong. Cats have lived alongside humans for thousands of years, yet even today they remain mysterious creatures. Their every movement, every blink, every subtle flick of the tail carries a meaning that often escapes our notice. But to truly understand the depth of their hidden abilities, you have to view the world the way they do, not through logic or words, but through energy, scent, vibration, and emotion. When we slow down and start paying attention, we realize that cats operate on an almost meditative level of awareness, perceiving the smallest shifts around them long before we do. Consider how cats experience the world. While humans rely primarily on sight, cats exist in a symphony of senses that constantly interpret the environment. Their whiskers aren't just for show. Each one is a sensory tool capable of detecting minute changes in air pressure and distance. When a person enters the room, those whiskers sense how air moves differently around them, telling the cat instantly how fast they're walking, whether they're nervous or calm, and even if they've been there before. Pair that with a sense of smell that's 14 times stronger than ours, and you start to realize why your cat just knows when someone feels off. A stranger who smells anxious or who carries unfamiliar pheromones will be approached with caution. The eyes, too, are part of this extraordinary system. Cats are crepuscular, most alert at dawn and dusk. which means their eyes are designed to detect movement in low light. They can spot flickers we can't even perceive. It's no wonder people sometimes think their cat is seeing something invisible. In reality, that movement might be the flick of a shadow, a tiny insect, or even a reflection of light we can't detect. But beyond the biological explanation, there's something profoundly intuitive about how cats interpret what they see. They can tell, for instance, when someone's body language is inconsistent, when a smile hides tension, or when someone's energy doesn't match their facial expression. They're not fooled by appearances. They read the truth beneath the surface. Many cat owners report that their pets found them during periods of transition, a breakup, a move, a loss. It's as if the universe sends these animals to anchor us when our internal world feels unstable. Cats, in their quiet wisdom, seem to teach detachment without indifference. They love deeply, but without clinging. They show affection when they choose, and they withdraw when they need space. In doing so, they mirror the healthiest form of emotional balance, one that many humans spend a lifetime trying to master. But what about those times when your cat suddenly stares at a corner of the room, eyes wide, body alert, as if sensing something unseen? While skeptics might call it superstition, many pet owners can't shake the feeling that cats are aware of presences we can't perceive. Whether it's a shift in electromagnetic fields, a faint sound, or even spiritual energy, just cats respond to it. In folklore, cats have always been linked to the unseen. Sailors once believed a ship with a cat on board would be protected from storms and bad luck, and in countless households today, people still say their cats act as quiet sentinels, absorbing negativity, creating a sense of calm wherever they rest. So the next time someone visits or you walk in exhausted from your day, take a moment, let your cat be your mirror, watch what they do, because often you walk through your door after a long day. Your cat sits by the window, watching. You step past her without a word, heading straight to the kitchen. In that single moment, you just broke her heart a little, and you had no idea. Right now, as you watch this video, there's a good chance you're emotionally hurting your cat in ways you never imagined. Not because you're cruel, not because you don't love them, but because cats speak a language most of us never learned to understand. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on 9 everyday behaviors that are quietly crushing your cat's emotional world. Some will shock you, others will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about living with a feline. Number 9, walking past them like they're invisible. Here's something most cat owners get completely wrong. You come home after 8 hours, your cat is there, waiting, and you walk right past them. Shoes off, phone down, straight to the couch. In your mind, you're just decompressing. But in your cat's mind, something devastating just happened. You ignored them. Research from Oregon State University revealed something extraordinary. Cats form bonds with their humans remarkably similar to how children bond with parents. When you walk through that door, your cat's brain floods with dopamine and oxytocin. Your cat has been tracking time, anticipating your return, and the moment you arrive, their entire world lights up. But when you ignore that greeting, when you don't acknowledge their presence in those first critical seconds, you're sending a message you never intended. You don't matter, I don't see you. Cats who receive consistent greetings display more secure attachment behaviors. They're more confident, less anxious, and emotionally stable. But cats who are regularly ignored can develop subtle forms of insecurity and even separation anxiety. The fix is almost embarrassingly simple. 2 seconds. When you walk through that door, crouch down, say their name. A gentle stroke. These tiny moments build enormous emotional security. Number 8, giving them the chase but never the catch. Let's talk about one of the most popular cat toys on the planet. The laser pointer, that little red dot that sends even the laziest cat into a hunting frenzy. It looks like harmless fun, except your cat isn't happy. They're frustrated, and you're the reason why. Cats aren't just playing when they chase that dot. They're hunting. Their brain doesn't distinguish between a laser point and a mouse. When that red light zips across the floor, every instinct screams prey. Their pupils dilate, their muscles tense, they're locked into predator mode. But here's the problem. They never catch it, never feel it in their paws, never get that crucial moment of completion when the hunt ends with success. For a predator, that lack of closure creates deep psychological frustration. Researchers studying feline behavior have found that cats need to complete the hunt cycle, the stalk, the chase, the pounce, and most importantly, the catch. Without that final step, the experience becomes hollow and stressful. Some cats develop what behaviorists call laser pointer syndrome. They become obsessed with chasing lights and shadows. They fixate on reflections. Some develop compulsive behaviors, constantly searching for that dot that never stays caught. The solution is simple. If you use a laser pointer, always end the session by directing the dot onto a physical toy, a stuffed mouse, a ball. Let them feel that rush of successful capture, or better yet, skip the laser entirely and use wand toys or anything they can actually hold in their paws. Number 7, touching them in all the wrong places. You see your cat, they look so soft. You reach down and rub their belly, and suddenly teeth sink into your hand, claws rake your wrist. You pull back, confused. What just happened? You just violated your cat's boundaries. Not all petting is created equal in the cat world. Your cat has a very specific petting map. Zones where touch feels good and zones where it feels threatening or even painful. Ignore that map and you're not showing affection. You're causing distress. Cats have highly concentrated nerve endings in certain areas, particularly the belly, paws, tail base, and legs. For many cats, touching these zones doesn't register as pleasure. It registers as vulnerability. In the wild, exposing the belly means exposing vital organs. These areas are danger zones, not comfort zones. But every cat's petting preferences are unique. Some cats love belly rubs. Others will tolerate exactly 3 strokes down their back. Some want head scratches only, and those preferences can change over time. When you ignore these boundaries, you're not bonding, you're breaking trust. Your cat starts to see your hand as unpredictable, unsafe. Some cats start avoiding their owners entirely. Learn your cat's language. Start with universally safe zones: the cheeks, chin, forehead, and area behind the ears. Watch their body language. If their tail starts twitching, stop. If their ears flatten, back off. If they lean into your hand, you've found a good spot. Number 6, invading their sanctuary. Your cat is curled up under the bed, peaceful, hidden, safe. You need to vacuum under there, so you reach in, you grab them, you pull them out. You just shattered their sense of safety. Cats are both predators and prey animals. That dual nature means they need places where they feel completely secure, spaces where no one can surprise them, no one can corner them. These safe spaces are essential. When a cat retreats to their hiding spot, they're engaging in emotional regulation. Maybe they're overwhelmed by noise. Maybe they're processing stress. That space allows them to reset, to feel in control. But when you violate that space, you strip away that sense of control. And for a cat, losing control equals danger. You become unpredictable. The one place they thought was safe suddenly isn't. Cats without adequate safe spaces exhibit higher levels of anxiety. They're more likely to develop behavioral problems, more likely to become aggressive, more likely to hide constantly because nowhere feels secure. The rule is simple. If your cat retreats, let them. If they're sleeping in their spot, leave them alone. Don't follow them. Don't pull them out. You're giving them the gift of control. And when a cat feels in control, they feel safe. Number 5, raising your voice and thinking they understand. Your cat knocks over a glass. Water spreads across the table. You snap. Bad cat. No. Your voice rises, sharp, angry. Your cat freezes, wide eyes, flattened ears, then they bolt. You think you've taught them a lesson, but here's what actually just happened. You terrified them. Cats do not understand punishment. They don't connect your anger to their action. What they think is, the person I trust just became dangerous. Feline cognition works on immediate association. If there's a gap of even a few seconds between the behavior and your reaction, your cat cannot make the connection. And even if your timing is perfect, what they learn isn't don't do that behavior. What they learn is that human is unpredictable and scary. Punishment-based methods damage the human-animal bond. Cats who are regularly yelled at become more anxious, more fearful, and often more aggressive. And cats have extraordinarily sensitive hearing. They detect frequencies far beyond human range. What sounds like normal volume to you can be painfully loud to them. When you yell to your cat's ears, you're being violent. This creates learned helplessness. Your cat can't predict when you'll be safe and when you'll be dangerous. They become withdrawn, anxious. The alternative is positive reinforcement and redirection. If your cat is scratching the couch, guide them to a scratching post and reward them. If they're jumping on counters, understand why. Training your cat isn't about dominance, it's about communication. Number 4, assaulting their ears with chaos. Your vacuum roars to life. Your cat vanishes. You're watching TV at full volume. Your cat presses themselves against the wall. You're having an argument, voices raised. Your cat hasn't come out from under the bed in 3 hours. You're destroying their sense of safety with sound. Cats detect frequencies up to 78,000 hertz. Humans top out around 20,000. They can hear ultrasonic sounds completely invisible to us. This extraordinary hearing evolved for hunting. But in a human home, that superpower becomes a vulnerability. A vacuum cleaner that's loud to us is devastating to them. A slammed door is an explosion. Raised voices register as genuine threat. Loud, unexpected noises trigger their deepest survival instincts. Studies show that cats exposed to loud environments exhibit elevated heart rates, increased cortisol levels, and behavioral changes that persist after the noise stops. Cats living in chronically noisy homes hide constantly, stop eating normally, develop over-grooming, and become hypervigilant. And it's not just the volume, it's the unpredictability. If your cat can't predict when the next loud sound will come, they live in constant alert. That's exhausting, traumatic, and it erodes their mental health. The solution requires awareness. Lower your TV volume. Close doors gently. If you need to vacuum, give your cat access to a quiet room first. Never yell around your cat. Your voice should be their comfort, not their source of fear. Number 3, ignoring their words. Your cat sits beside you. They meow. You don't look up from your phone. They meow again, louder. Still nothing. They headbutt your arm. You absently pet them once and return to your screen. They walk away. You just told them they don't matter. Here's something that will change how you see your cat. Adult cats don't meow to each other. Meowing is a vocalization that domestic cats developed specifically to communicate with humans. When your cat meows at you, they're using a language they created just for you. Cats modify their meows based on what they're trying to express. Hunger sounds different from loneliness. A greeting sounds different from a complaint. Some cats even develop personalized meowing patterns unique to their specific humans. But those meows, those chirps, those slow blinks, the rubbing against your legs, these aren't random behaviors. They're communication. Your cat is talking to you constantly, and when you ignore them, you're telling them their voice doesn't matter. Over time, this creates emotional distance. Your cat stops trying to communicate because they've learned it's pointless. They become withdrawn. Some develop attention-seeking behaviors that escalate, and for some, they just shut down entirely. Cats who feel heard and understood show significantly more secure attachment behaviors. They're more affectionate, more playful, more willing to interact. The fix is about presence. When your cat meows at you, acknowledge them. Look at them. Say their name. If they slow blink at you, slow blink back. That's cat language for I love you. Number 2, forcing them into social situations. Your friend comes over. You know your cat is shy, but you want to show them off. So you pick up your cat and try to make them interact. Your cat's body is stiff, their tail is tucked, their ears are back, but you keep holding them. In that moment, you're not socializing your cat, you're traumatizing them. Cats need to feel in control of their social interactions. This is fundamental to their psychological well-being. When you force a cat to meet strangers, to be held when they don't want to be, to interact when they're not ready, you strip away that control. And for a cat, losing control equals danger. Research from 2019 showed that most cats form secure emotional attachments to their humans, similar to how babies attach to parents. But those attachments require trust, and trust requires respect for boundaries. Cats rely heavily on scent and body language to evaluate new situations. This process takes time. Rushing it overwhelms them. Some cats become so stressed by forced socialization that they develop long-term anxiety around people. They start hiding whenever anyone visits, all because they learned that humans don't respect their need for control. Proper cat socialization means you let the cat approach. You let them set the pace. You let them decide when to be touched and when to walk away. You create an environment where the cat feels safe enough to be curious. If you have guests, give your cat a safe room to retreat to. Let them observe from a distance. Some cats will eventually approach, others won't, and that's okay. This respect for autonomy builds confidence. Cats allowed to socialize on their own terms often become more social over time. Number 1. Suffocating them with scents. You light a lavender candle. You spray air freshener after cleaning the litter box. You switch to floral-scented cat litter because it smells better to you. You put on perfume before cuddling your cat. All of these things are torturing your cat. A cat's sense of smell is 14 times stronger than yours. What smells faintly pleasant to you is an overwhelming assault on their senses. But it's worse than that. Cats rely on scent to understand their world. They use pheromones to mark territory, to feel safe. Their entire sense of security is tied to scent. When you fill your home with artificial fragrances, scented litters, perfumes, air fresheners, you're not just creating unpleasant smells. You're masking the scent markers your cat uses to feel safe. You're disrupting their ability to recognize their own territory. Research shows that cats exposed to strong artificial scents exhibit measurable stress responses. They avoid their litter boxes because the scented litter overwhelms them. They become anxious and disoriented. And those scented products aren't just psychologically harmful, they're physically dangerous. Cats have delicate respiratory systems. Artificial fragrances can irritate their lungs, trigger allergies, and contribute to asthma. Your cat might be sneezing or coughing, and you never connected it to that vanilla-scented candle. Some cats develop litter box aversion entirely because of scented litter. They'll start urinating outside the box, not because they're being spiteful, but because using the box has become intolerable. The solution requires a shift in thinking. Unscented everything. Unscented litter. Unscented cleaning products. No candles while your cat is in the room. No air fresheners. Clean the litter box daily instead of trying to mask the smell. Your home might not smell like a spa, but your cat will feel safe. Closing. 9 ways. 9 everyday behaviors that are silently breaking your cat's heart. Walking past them like they're invisible. Giving them the chase but never the catch. Touching them in all the wrong places. Invading their sanctuary. Raising your voice. Assaulting their ears with chaos. Ignoring their words. Forcing them into social situations. And suffocating them with scents. Each one might seem small in isolation, but together they create an environment where your cat feels unseen, unheard, unsafe, and unloved. The heartbreaking part is that most cat owners have no idea. They love their cats deeply, but love without understanding is just good intentions with painful consequences. The beautiful thing is that every single one of these is fixable. You don't need expensive toys or complicated training. You need awareness. You need to see your cat as they actually are. You need to learn their language, respect their boundaries, honor their needs. When you do that, something magical happens. Your cat doesn't just tolerate you, they bond with you, they trust you. They seek you out because being near you makes them feel safe and loved. That's the relationship every cat owner dreams of, and it's waiting for you. If this video opened your eyes, please hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel for more deep dives into cat behavior, and drop a comment telling me which of these 9 surprised you the most. Your cat has been trying to tell you something. Now you know how to listen.